Candid, captivating, compelling. Welcome to Cannabis Confidential with Dr. Dina. Listen in as Dr. Dina, medical marijuana pioneer and inspiration for the award-winning TV series Weeds, shares never-before-heard stories, chats with cannabis insiders and celebrity friends, and provides invaluable perspective and insight into one of the fastest-growing industries in the world. CannabisRadio.com proudly presents Cannabis Confidential with your host, Dr. Dina.
Welcome to Cannabis Confidential. I'm your hostess with the mostest when it comes to cannabis. I'm Dr. Dina. Thank you for joining us today. We have the coolest show ever. I am so excited about today's guest. Why do you ask? Well, let me tell you. That's because today's guest, we have Whoopi Goldberg, the Whoopi Goldberg on Cannabis Confidential on Cannabis Radio. This is the coolest day ever. So, Whoopi Goldberg is a very, very special friend of mine, and she's also one of the most incredible actresses I have ever watched on screen. She not only is an incredible actress, but she has won a Grammy, an Academy Award, a Golden Globe, an Emmy, and a Tony. I mean, what else? I mean, she's now going to win the Cannabis Cup. That's the only thing we have next. And she is so loved and so known for humanitarian efforts on behalf of children, homeless, human rights, education, substance abuse, and the battle against AIDS and HIV, as well as so many other causes and charities. And among one of her many, many charitable activities, she's a goodwill ambassador to the United Nations. This is so impressive. Whoopi was born and raised in New York. She's an awesome New Yorker, which is maybe why I get along with her so well, because my dad's side of the family is all from New York. But Whoopi worked in theater and improv in San Diego and in the Bay Area. She made her motion picture debut in Steven Spielberg's The Color Purple, for which she earned an Academy Award nomination and a Golden Globe Award. Her performance in Ghost earned her the Academy Award and a Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actress. Whoopi has appeared in such films as Jumping Jack Flash, Burglar, Sister Act, The Long Walk Home, Clara's Heart, How Stella Got Her Groove Back, Boys on the Side, and Girl Interrupted. She's also voiced characters in the animated films The Lion King and Racing Stripes. On TV, Whoopi appeared for 5 seasons on Star Trek, which is really incredible because she was inspired to become an actress when she was younger because she watched this show Star Trek and just really loved one of the actresses, and later she got a star on the show, so she's so cool. She is my idol. Whoopi currently is on a very well-known talk show. She has been busy in every facet of her life. She is an incredible mother. She's a producer, an actress. She has had a show called Strong Medicine on Lifetime that she was so, so proud of. In addition to the Oscar, the Grammy, and 2 Golden Globe Awards, Whoopi has been honored with multiple NAACP Image Awards, numerous People's Choice Awards, including a special tribute in 1998, and 5 Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards as Favorite Movie Actress, which is amazing. And now she's going into the cannabis space, so she could just do it all. In 1992, Whoopi made her debut as an author with her first children's book, Alice. Since then, she's penned a number of books, including Whoopi's Big Book of Manners in October 2006, a children's book series called Sugar Plum Ballerinas, and a humorous commentary, Is It Just Me or Is It Nuts Out There?, which is just so awesome. She also released a relationship guide titled, If Someone Says You Complete Me, Run. And now it is my pleasure to introduce my most exciting guest I've ever had on Cannabis Confidential, Whoopi Goldberg. Oh my gosh, I feel like we need fanfare.
Dr. Dina.
How are you doing, girl?
I'm very well. I'm very, very well.
Well, this is good to know. I'm very excited. So we have so many things to talk about, and I've been wanting to have you on my show for pretty much since I've met you. And the cannabis world is so fascinating how it brings so many different people together. Even when they meet for the first time, it's like when you have that in common, you just have that bond. And ever since I met you, I felt that we have that special bond about this plant that we love and we know can really heal and help so many people. And so a few months ago, I got an interesting phone call from a friend of mine who used to work at High Times, who said that he was leaving High Times because he's working on something very, very, very special, but he wouldn't tell me what. And then you came by and you told me you were working on something very, very special, but you couldn't tell me what. And I just had a feeling that these two people might be talking about the same thing. And before you know it, wow, it was the same product. And the birth of Whoopi and Maya came to be. And I was so honored to be chosen to be one of the first dispensaries over at Oswego to carry the product. And so let's talk about the birth of Whoopi and Maya, how that came to be.
Yes, but first let's talk about how wonderful you are, just so I can say this, because, you know, I wanted this to be something that I could say to you, would you want to do, would you want to carry us? Because I just felt like I had like you said, such a connection with you that I wanted it to be something that I could kind of go, hey, I'm in it because I think this is important. So I want to thank you for saying yes and letting us have our products over at Oz, because I love you and Jay.
Well, thank you. We love you.
So anyway.
We believe in your product and we believe in cannabis. And it was so neat to have finally a woman in the space who gets it and to say, here's a whole, part of our society that is being affected by something on a regular basis. And me being one of them, I get horrible, I'm sure all the guys are going to cringe right now, horrible cramps when I get my period. And it's just the way it goes. I mean, I am suffering. And I personally yesterday was having the worst cramps of my life. I thought I was going to die. Jason was pissing me off at work. And I was crabby and angry. And I grabbed some of the rub, this Whoopi and Maya rub, and I put it on my back because I was having back spasms. And before I was even done, before I was done rubbing it on my back, it was like the left side of my back. By the time I was rubbing it the left was already stopped spasming. And it happened so fast. I was shocked. I started rubbing it all over me all day, and everybody kept commenting that I smelled very nice. Ooh, what is that you're wearing today? I'm like, those are essential oils from Whoopi and Maya.
Well, it's, the craziest thing, my darling, is that, when Rick and I were talking, we were talking about the fact that, Willie has a line and Snoop has a line and the Marleys have a line and, it's all about the recreational. And I said, well, is there anything that's specifically like for period cramps? Because I used to get them terribly, and I know my granddaughters get it. I have two grown granddaughters, and I said they get it. And Rick said, well, no, that's not something that, anybody's going to do because it's a niche market.
Right. Well, and Rick was wrong.
I guess I looked at him with the kind of look, and he said, well, no, it is. I mean, I said, Rick, do you realize that niche encompasses half of the population on the planet? If half of the population is either coming into their period or going out of their period, who in their right mind would not want to put something out for people who need? I mean, and he said, you know what? I don't think I thought about that. I said, no, because you don't have to. You have nuts.
Right,
you don't.
Exactly.
You don't have cramps.
And what are our options, really, right? What are our options? Midol? I mean, that's like, come on.
Yes, and Midol works for a lot of folks, and so does Motrin. But my point of view is that I can't really pronounce a lot of stuff in Midol or Motrin, and no one can tell me what they are. But in our products, it's right there. You can pronounce everything, what everything is. Now, are they going to work for everyone? I don't think so. Some things will work for some people. Some people will just be happy with the soak. Some people will need a THC tincture or a THC chocolate. Some people just need the rub. Some people need everything. And some people don't need any of it. So my feeling is I would like to make sure that women have another choice, and particularly mothers who may be going through this, because I feel like if you use our products and you see that this is not about getting you high, but it's about making your life better because you're on and your productivity increases because you're not taking 2 or 3 days off from work because you're under the table or missing 2 or 3 days of school because you're under the table with the cramps.
Exactly.
I think that is better in the long run for all of us. And maybe if mothers realize that these products are not about getting you high, they'll be comfortable to rub it on the new cramps that come along in their daughters. I just feel like getting, look, Chris, when we put the products out, we got a beautiful phone call from some legislators in New Jersey who said, my God, we didn't realize, but this is a big issue, cramps. And I said, yeah, this is a big issue. And they said, well, we would like to include cramps, menstrual cramps, in the things that go on the list of things you can go to the doctor and get medicinal marijuana for. I said, that would be brilliant. The governor of New Jersey said, well, that's never going to happen because we only give medicinal marijuana for real pain.
Isn't that so sad that
problem.
they're not the doctors and they think they can decide what's real pain? I mean, the system is broken.
Well, not only is the system broken, but how, if you can't have the conversation with somebody and say, I'm in real pain. Now, people, because they don't know what a period is, unless you're a woman, you don't get it. You don't understand what's happening. So you don't really think she's in pain. You think, oh, maybe she's exaggerating, blah, blah. But if I hit you in the nuts, you know you're in pain.
Right. Well, it's a perfect example.
If somebody hits you in the nuts, nobody ever says, hey, quit faking it. No woman ever says that to a guy. You're faking it.
That's true.
Guys say it to women all the time. The governor of New Jersey basically just said to all of these women with cramps, listen, your pain isn't real, and you're just trying to get high. It's like, dude, really? If people want to get high, there's an app that has called Weed Maps. You can find the people who deliver. People are not going for the high on this.
Right.
This is a real issue. So what we're seeing and hearing is that people are starting to say, oh, you know what? My daughter has this, or my granddaughter has this, or I asked my wife if she's always had cramps. I had no idea. It's the opening up of this discussion, which is imperative because I grew up with cramps and with people who thought you were trying to get attention. And
you couldn't even use it as an excuse, or it was like, oh, you're just a girl, and that's what they do is use excuses.
Yeah, you just you're lying basically.
Right.
So you learn to keep all that stuff to yourself.
Exactly. And that's not healthy
and
either.
And that's not a good thing that we're teaching. No, it's not healthy. And so I'm hoping that Whoopi and Maya will at least get folks to understand that this is real, to get people who are concerned about getting high to get that out of their minds and say, no, this is about quality of life, baby. This is not about the high. You can't get high with the rub.
No, I did not get high at all.
It will melt.
I took a bath. I took a wonderful bath with a soak, and guess what? I didn't get high. My muscles felt great. My skin felt very soft, and I slept wonderfully afterwards, but I wasn't high. In fact, Jason ate an entire jar of the savor, the cacao, in one sitting. He just ate an entire jar, and he had no PMS at all.
I mean, it's kind of remarkable, and that's why I kind of love that Maya knows what she knows. She seems to, it's like, I don't know, it's another language. It's brilliant when I talk to her and say, well, what about this? What can we do for here and here and here? And she said, well, if we get something like this, we might be able to, rub it into the back of your neck and, it'll do this. And it's like, okay, okay, girl. She's kind of remarkable. I'm quite happy that I got to play. I'm getting to play with her.
Whoopi, we're going to have to take a short break. When we come back, we will be joined, everyone, with Whoopi Goldberg. So don't go anywhere and listen to a word from our sponsors.
Cannabis Confidential with Dr. Dina will continue after a word from our most confident sponsors.
Play as Ted Growing, expelled botany sophomore and the biggest grower in town, only on Weed Firm Replanted. Available on the App Store and Google Play.
It's a lot of work being the biggest grower in town. Maintaining a room full of plants while dealing with a slew of eccentric customers? From a hardcore partier to the curious neighbor next door.
Is anybody home?
Help me expand my bud business by unlocking new strains, customizing my grow room, and completing challenges that you can't get enough of. Grow your empire so big you can see it from space. Low on funds? Don't worry. Weed Firm Replanted is free to download.
Download Weed Firm Replanted for free on the App Store and Google Play today. Get growing, Mr. Growing. The next generation of vaporizers has arrived. Vuber vaporizers are blazing the way with unparalleled technology for oil, concentrate, or dry flower pens. Providing unsurpassed customer service and expert craftsmanship, Vuber vaporizers use cutting-edge technology, providing a power-packed, smoother vapor with a lifetime guarantee. Experience vaporizing the way it was meant to be. The Vuber way.
Cash?
Sorry.
I don't carry around cash, and I don't want to use the ATM and pay surcharges.
You don't need to carry cash. Haven't you heard about PayQuick?
Okay, tell me about PayQuick.
It's the safe and easy way to pay. It works just like your debit card to securely pay for your purchase, and it gives you rewards points every time you use it.
Nice.
PayQuick, the safe and easy way to pay. PayQuick.com.
Tommy Chong is ready to cut through the smoke and change the tone of Tilk Radio.
You're going to be a great-granddad. Pretty cool. Morgan is Ray Dawn's son. Morgan and his wife Tracy, they've been trying to have a baby for quite some time. Did you hear what I said to Morgan? What? Do you know who the father is?
The Tommy Chong Podcast, only on CannabisRadio.com.
Welcome to my world.
Dr. Dina is back with more Cannabis Confidential, only on CannabisRadio.com.
And we're back with Cannabis Confidential. I'm Dr. Dina, and we're back with Whoopi Goldberg. Now, how did you get to meet Maya?
Through Rick and my friend Evan.
That was when you went to High Times?
Are there any women in this business? This is before I even met you. You know? And he said, well, let me look around and see. And I thought, okay. And he said, I think you and this young lady might hit it off. And we got on the phone and ignored everybody but us. And just talked. So, you know, is there anything out there? Did you guys create anything that does this and this? And she said, no. I said, would you do this with me? And she's like, I would love to. Because you would think we would have done this. But we didn't. So let's us do it. And I tell you, we took a year. We took a year to do it. We gave it to, I have these grown granddaughters, and gave it to my daughter and all the women that I work around and for and with, and said, try this, see if it works for you. And if it doesn't work, tell me why it doesn't work. Or if it does work, tell me why it does work. What would you like to see? What do you think we need less of? What would, And so over the last year or so, we've been trying different things back and forth. And that cacao is like off the hook.
It is
it's off the hook.
Good.
People
it's
just
so good. I just
stick
want to
their
eat
finger
it.
in it.
Yeah, I just want to eat it all day.
Yes.
In fact, I do when I'm
but
having chocolate.
See, now I used to not ever eat chocolate. This I like. This
is
so,
heavenly.
I'm not cramping with it, but I will say it does, it does make you feel better. I didn't know chocolate could do that, but it does.
It does. And I like that. It's so interesting, just the concept of the bath soak. What I was explaining to people is that, regular Epsom salt works great. And for cramps, it's been something that people have told you to use for years and years and years, but you've just taken it up a notch and added the cannabis to it. So it's you're getting the magnesium, you're getting more than just the cannabis and the soak. So it's really very medicinal, which I really like about it. It's not just weed.
It makes me very happy, yeah. And it's, this is something that you can, if you have older folks in your family, you can have them in the tub with this. Do you know what I mean? It will make them feel better. I mean, it's really, I keep saying it, Dr. Dina, but it really is the quality of life. It's why I love the Stanley Brothers and all the stuff that they've done, because they have improved people's and children's quality of life. Children who, many doctors just said, well, there's nothing we can do for them. And when you look at all of the things that marijuana helps, it's impossible for me to understand why we are still struggling with this classification of a Schedule I drug. I can't wrap my mind around it, especially now that we've seen through Atlantic Magazine and the article that they did about Nixon, and I think it was Ehrlichman, I could be wrong, but where Nixon basically says, listen, we can't make it illegal to be black, we can't make it illegal to be a hippie, but we can make it really, really bad if you buy marijuana. And as you look in hindsight and look back over the years, people were tossed into jail for stupid amounts, like, less than 5 joints. I mean,
That's
stupid stuff.
I advocate for these guys.
I just feel like
they have life in prison. I've advocated for these guys. Life in prison for a joint or for, a couple grams in the wrong state. And so it's really, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
We're spending this money to keep these guys locked away when they could be home with their families. They haven't done anything wrong.
Yeah.
These laws need to change.
And the idea that we know now that it was a setup.
Right.
That this was all a setup by a politico who was pissed about something totally different.
And there's the DuPont
family. So why aren't
family.
we revisiting...
The DuPont family, they were afraid of hemp replacing their plastics, and their cotton or whatever. And so it goes back so deep. And that's why I think it's so amazing to have someone like you with such an amazing voice to come out and be pro-cannabis. I mean, this has got to be a little scary, right? To come out and say that you're pro-cannabis?
Well, no, because, I am saying I'm pro something that works. I know it works. I've seen it work. And I'm saying, why aren't y'all listening? Because if we go through this idea of a drug that is a gateway drug, if you are an addictive personality, everything is a gateway. Everything. Candy, food, sex. If you are an addictive personality, that's going to happen. But there are so many things that are discounted as being gateways to, crazy behavior, cigarettes, alcohol. We're fine with all of that. So I don't understand why people would say, hey, we know this is a good medicine, but we're just not going to release it because we think it's bad for you. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Why would you prefer some doctor to give your child, oxycodone to ease an issue rather than something that you might not even have, you can just rub it in. What the hell?
Yeah, I know.
So I don't mind being on the side of what is correct. And many moons ago, Rick said to me, it's really the new penicillin. It's that thing that comes along that has so many applications that it's a wonder drug. And why would you not welcome a wonder drug? Even if you're a pharmaceutical company, why would you not want to be part of something that revolutionizes your product and makes your product better? I don't understand it, so I know what scares me is that, people's inability to say, we were wrong. That's why I love Sanjay Gupta. That's why I love Richard Bessa and all of these. There's a new group of doctors. I think I'm not sure what they're called, but I want to paraphrase and say they're doctors who recognize the beneficial nature of marijuana. I don't think that's how they're called, but that's kind of what they are.
When Sanjay Gupta came out and said that he was wrong, I just burst out into tears because it was the first time really someone like that acknowledged that what we were doing was right, that we were on the right side of history. Because, you understand from my perspective, and I grew up in a world not from cannabis. My mom's a psychologist, my dad's in the mortgage business. And so it's very, very different. And when I get into this industry, they think I'm nuts. And they say, Dina, when are you getting out of it? It's horrible. You shouldn't be in this because it's this dark, great thing. And all of a sudden now it's my dad's calling saying, hey, I've got friends that want to invest in this CBD oil. Do you know anything about it? And I'm like, of course now you want to talk about this. And so they do come around, but they don't like to admit that they were wrong. And we're going to have to take another short break to hear a word from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Whoopi Goldberg on Cannabis Confidential.
Cannabis Confidential with Dr. Dina will continue after a word from our most confident sponsors.
The cannabis industry is growing. Business is booming. And as new opportunities arise in newly legalized states, each market is getting more competitive. Today, it takes more than just being a good grower. Do you have the resources to market and handle this ever-changing business landscape? Let Canna Management Corporation help you grow your canna business with our vast resources and experience to make your business a fully functional service company. Financial management, HR, sales, marketing, efficiency, and more. CMC has the experience and the expertise to improve your business and help you better meet the demands of your clients and customers. Call Canna Management Corporation and let our team get you ready to grow. 415-269-8015. That's 415-269-8015. Or visit canna-management.com.
Oh, let the marijuana llama tell you something now about a game for your phone gonna make you say, wow! The game's about the game of growing cannabis for cash. Grow the seed, sell the bud, put the savings in the stash. Little by little, your empire grows large. Put the big celebrities inside your entourage. You can choose to play with Snoop or me or Cheech and Chong. Cypress Hill, Willie Nelson, Wiz Khalifa with a bong. The name of the game is Hemp Inc., that's the point. Download and play while you light yourself a joint. The business of cannabis should be no crime. Hemp Inc. is even hot-proofed by the man who run High Times. Oh yeah? Get it on Android and iOS today. Marijuana llama out. Got to tend to me own crops, you know. Money don't make itself. Hemp Inc.
It's time to Hemp Present.
I am going to titillate your audio orifices with weekly radio rendezvous with some of the premier movers, shakers, and history makers of the cannabis community.
Radio resident Hempo sapien Vivian McPeak.
I will be putting out a call to action on issues of the day and putting your interest under the big lights as I provide cannabis commentary and weekly interviews that go straight for the nugular.
Marijuana! Hemp Present, only on Cannabis Radio.
Sweet sativa,
Dr. Dina is back with more Cannabis Confidential, only on CannabisRadio.com.
And we're back with Cannabis Confidential. We've got Whoopi Goldberg talking about how cannabis makes her feel. Listen in. Do you get shit from the media or other people about your stance on cannabis?
No, not at all. Listen, the one thing that people know about me is if I believe in something, I'm going to say I believe in it, whether everybody else believes in it or not. I only go from the position that this is what I know. This is what I know for a fact in my life. ABCD. I try not to, unless I've tried it or unless I really know it because I've been there, I try not to say much about it. But if it's something I know that I can say to you, no, have you ever tried it? Because if you haven't, you shouldn't be spouting this kind of thing. So I don't mind it, and nobody's given me any hell because, frankly, all the folks I know say, oh, my God, why didn't I think of this?
That is very
true.
And
the media's been very, very good to me because a lot of the folks that, might have questioned it, I say, listen, here's the bottom line to all of it. If you have cramps, this might help you. It's that simple. It's not going to get you high. You're not going to have any issues with it. It is simply to perhaps make your life better. It's not for everybody. We're not pretending that it is. So it's kind of hard to get in. Oh, well, some people say, well, you don't have the data. I said, there's enough. I have data. I know the data I need. And you won't let me get the data.
Right.
So you're telling me I have to wait for you to do it. I'm not waiting for you to do it. Those parents who are saving their children's lives with the Stanley Brothers, they're not waiting for you because y'all are dragging your feet.
Yes.
And you're dragging your feet because you know once you cop to the fact that this is not a Schedule I drug, amazing things are going to start happening. Amazing things are going to start happening. And the people who are saying, no, are going to be very gently put to the side. Now, I can't really talk to recreational use, but I can't imagine that people who have 2 martinis a night would begrudge anyone from having a joint.
Right. Well, I sort of think that all use is medical use in my mind.
Well, but
No, it makes